Hello and welcome back to the Cozy Colorful Corner. Today I wanted to talk about free size clothing in Korea. Now, I'm not sure why it's called free size, because there ain't nothing free about it. Free size is basically just a small size. Often when you go to stores, when you see something you like, it'll only be sold in a free size. So no plus size, no medium, no large, nothing. So often for me, I can fit into like free size tops, especially if they're meant to be oversized. But when it comes to bottoms, I need help. I like to blame years of doing dance, but who knows? I was just made with bigger thighs. So today what I'll be doing is taking some free size things I have and sizing them up. Here's a pair of shorts I bought a couple years ago, and I'm finally getting around to it now. But the elastic was just too tight on my hips, so I just cut it off. And today I'm gonna show you how I added the elastic. So actually I just realized the elastic has already been cut into 2 pieces, and that's too small to go around my waist. So what I'm gonna do is just sew them together, and then I can still use that to fit around my waist. Now that I have it sewn in one long piece, I'm just going to measure it around my waist. And cut to where I like it. Then I'm going to overlap those and zigzag, stitch those together. Then I pin the elastic onto the inside part. I match up the 4 quarters and then pin it in place. Then I'm just going to do a zigzag stitch all the way around to baste it in place, making sure to stretch the elastic part. Then I'm just going to run it through my serger. I'm being careful to avoid cutting the elastic, but you can also move the blade out of the way. Now I have a nice edge. Going back to the sewing machine, I just fold it down once over the elastic, and I'm going to stretch and sew that in place as well. And I just give it a quick steam because it's quite wrinkly. It's also possible to make a casing and then thread an elastic through it, but I find that sometimes the elastic will flip inside and that gets annoying, so I like to just directly sew it into the band. And here's the final look. So here's these cute pants I got for Christmas. The waist was a tad small, so I did replace the elastic, and so now it fits perfectly on my hips. But there's one more problem that I often encounter with free size clothing here, is it's really tight on my thigh here. So standing is okay, but like if I move like this, it's just really tight all through here. There's a few ways I can fix this. What I'm thinking I want to do is cut it here into shorts and then use this excess fabric to lengthen the inseam part. And then I can have cute PJs for summer. First, I cut off the shorts to the desired length. Then I picked open my inseam. Next, I'm going to measure my inseam, and with the extra fabric from the bottom, I'm going to cut a square panel that can fit inside. Because this fabric was woven on a grid, it's quite easy to just follow the thread line and create a perfect rectangle. I'm also going to cut the rest of the fabric into strips that I'm going to use to create a ruffle on the bottom. With right sides together, I'm going to sew along the inseam and the panel. Then flip it around and sew the panel to the other inseam. Give those seams a quick press to make it look more professional and flat. I also off camera just ran it through my serger to give it a cleaner edge. Now to work on the ruffle. First, again sewing the right sides together, I created a long circle. Now over to the iron to steam open those seams. And of course I created two, one for each leg hole. Now with wrong sides together, I'm folding it in half and steaming that flat. Here I increased my stitch length so that I can do a basting stitch all the way around, and eventually I will pull that to create the ruffle. I was in such a flow state, and then my bobbin ran out of thread. We gave it a quick change and it's back to work. So just like how I put the elastic in the first pair of pants, I first pin on my ruffles in the 4 quarters, and then I pull my basting thread slowly and try to even out the ruffles around, and then here I'm going to stitch them in place. I find it helpful to use a small tool like tweezers, or you can use an owl, and that just helps me so that I can hold the fabric and have a little bit more control, and also so I don't run a stitch through my finger. And for a clean edge, I ran it through my serger again. On the side seams, I wanted to create some ruching just to give it more visual interest. So here you can see I'm just doing it by hand. You can also do it with elastic, or you can create a channel and put a string through it. There's many different methods, but because these are just pajamas, I'm not caring so much about my technique, and I'm just going to freehand it. And here my shorts are finished. And here's the matching top. Because shorts are more for summer, I didn't want to have a long sleeve top with it, so I decided to cut off the sleeves and have a nice airy summer set. First I just unpick the sleeves, then I run the raw edge through the serger. To create an easy hem, I'm just going to fold that serged edge twice over and stitch it in place. Last, I gave the hems a nice final press with the iron. And I'm finished!